Hey, good morning. I'm going to read you today an article about what is happening in China. And let me tell you why I'm going to read that to you, because I wanted the day it happens here in South Africa. You should remember I warned you. I want you to have that feeling of deja vu that you've had this before, because it's coming. It's coming big time. Don't forget that China and Russia, the two major players in BRICS. Remember BRICS, our economic community, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It is noteworthy that from the BRICS countries, I think we have 5, B.R.I.C.S, yeah, from the 5, only Brazil and South Africa have not started imprisoning people for their beliefs. India, Russia, and China are starting to imprison people for their Christian belief. And you are very naive if you think that South Africa's obsession with the regulation of religion is just incidental. You are even a bigger fool to think that it's been triggered by the spate of rapes in churches and all that. Rape is rape. Whether it takes place in a prison or in church, it's evil. And if you come to ask yourself a very intelligent question, that if the place where rape takes place is far more significant than the act itself, then there's something wrong with our society. Rape is rape, whether it takes place in a home, in a bar, in a prison, in a church. Rape is rape, and that is why by its criminal definition, it makes no reference to location. Please open your eyes and hear what I'm saying to you. By its legal definition, criminal definition, rape makes no reference to the person committing it and to the place it's taking place. Rape is rape. If you go to a doctor, there are two possibilities. That doctor may misdiagnose you or misprescribe any intervention. Misdiagnosis is very dangerous, because we will amputate your leg instead of treating your abscess, and that we misdiagnose goes a long way in informing the kind of intervention you're going to bring your way. But there are times we have a proper diagnosis, but a misprescription. And I'm saying to you, where the South African government, institutions such as the Civil Rights Commission, and I agree, there's rape. But that's how far our agreement goes. We agree that there is rape and rape is evil. And I disagree that the location of the rape and the people raping has any legal implications. Rape is rape. A 12-year-old can rape an 86-year-old. That's evil. It's not evil. It's not more evil because it takes place in a nightclub. It's not more evil because it takes place in a prison. The point I'm trying to make is government's real agenda has nothing to do with the abuse of women in churches, because laws already exist to deal with that. I'm saying that I'm like a broken record now. Rape takes place in a taxi. The taxi industry is regulated. Right now, there are allegations of rape against a senior ANC official. Politics is very regulated in South Africa. But it just shows that no degree of institutional regulation does away with crime. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I've said to you in the past, not for decades, for centuries, there's been documented abuse of young stars in the Roman Catholic Church. Yes, the Roman Catholic Church is one of the most regulated institutions on earth. The second richest church after the Mormons. They have billions of money at their disposal. But no amount of money and no amount of regulation can do away with the evil in society. Now, I promised to read you something. And I'm saying to you, the reason I'm going to read you this now is to give you a broader context within which the South African government is bent on regulating church. China is doing it, India is doing it, Russia is doing it. And it's a broader theme. And if you don't resist it now, we'll regret. John Calvin once said, an evil government is God's punishment for an evil people. Because we're the ones who put these governments in places. And we're the ones who keep quiet when the gradual erosion of people's rights is taken away. Let's be honest with one another. Religion itself, as a belief, as a philosophy, cannot be regulated. So when you talk about the regulation of religion, what are you saying to me? What are we saying? What are we saying about the Rastafarians? Are we saying Rastafarians have to organize themselves before their right to Rastafarianism is adhered to? And right now, what is very conspicuous is the silence over other religions. Hinduism, Islam. These peer review structures that are concerning that are the concern of particular stakeholders. To what extent are they embracing over other quasi-Christian beliefs? Is Ray McCody and company going to also review the Rastafarians because they're an offshoot of the Christian belief? What are they going to do? It has nothing to do with the crimes taking place. It has everything to do with the broader agenda that our economic community has. Now I'm reading here. And if you don't wake up now, do not say I never warned you. And I'm going to warn you. And if you won't listen, God will be gracious enough. I'll die before these things have come to South Africa. But I will have warned you. China shuts 3 prominent churches just this summer. 3 of the most prominent churches in China have been shut down. Let me read. China shuts leading underground Christian churches. More than 60 police and government officials interrupt children's Bible class. Now, we know that it has nothing to do with rape because it's hardly imaginable that children in a church would be responsible for crimes. It has nothing to do with crime. So they come, 60 cops come into this complex and they find a children's church meeting. And they close it down. They take more than 4,000 Bibles. What does it have to do? I mean, this is where we're going. The regulation of religion has nothing to do with the crimes taking place within churches. The only aspect of religion government has not regulated now is our belief, our preaching. They're not concerned about taxation. They're not concerned about fundraising. They're not concerned about that. Let me tell you why the ANC, the DA, and the EFF would never get serious with the funding of non-governmental organizations because they themselves are not prepared to disclose who gives them the money. So the church, as an NGO, is in the same class with other NGOs. And the reason, though there are laws, they're afraid of clamping down, is they'll have to start with themselves. How long have you been crying out? Let the ANC tell us where they're taking the money from. Where the DA, we know that even the Guptas gave DA money. Now, they're not concerned with that. They're not concerned about the financial affairs of the church. They're concerned about our beliefs. They took 4,000 Bibles and 4,000 books. The officials, who included representatives from the Education and Religious Affairs Department, were said to have stayed until 8 p.m. and confiscated church property, including more than 4,000 books. Entry and exit points to the roads leading to this church were closed. And a prominent preacher was arrested there. And this closure comes after Chinese authorities shut down a 1,500 member Zion church because it was unregistered. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's what Ray McCody is trying to do now. They're trying to publish a register of all credible churches. Who makes them credible to be in charge of that register? According to a notice issued on Sunday by the District Ethnic and Religious Affairs Bureau. Can you see where we're going? The CRL Rights Commission. Later on, they set up organizations. This one they call the Ethnic and Religious Affairs Bureau. That's where we're going. They declare that all activities of this church have been suspended by local authorities for violating the Religious Affairs Regulation. Open your eyes, South Africa. I'm reading to you what happened over this past weekend. I'm repeating this. According to a notice issued by this District Ethnic Religious Affairs Bureau, all activities of this church have been suspended by the local authorities for violating the Religious Affairs Regulation. You're going to get locked up by cooperating with an unconstitutional process that Reverend McCauley has been appointed to oversee. Somebody said to me, Shimi, to what extent should we resist this regulation? He said, to the whole extent. Leave the church as is. Leave us as we are. Because as I said in our first recording many months ago, I don't need to be institutionalized for my religion to be legit. There could be two of us, sun worshippers. We can decide to worship the sun. And every Sunday morning, we take our zols there. We sit on the cliff and smoke our zols and observe the sun. You can't say for you to continue to do that, be a registered organization. For you to continue to decide who between the two of you is the chairman. For you to do that, we need to get the credentials of the chairman. You can't say that. I don't have to be a regulated body to practice my constitutional right. And the government has cast a veil over their real motive. And naive people, as I've said to you last week, it's interesting to see who they chose. Go into the resume of each of the preachers they chose to spearhead this regulation. These guys have been nowhere. They came from their background. They were soccerites, they were bodybuilders, they were musicians. And what did they do? They went to Bible college and went to church. They know nothing about politics. They know nothing about the law. Because had they known that, they would have put their feet down and said no. I am saying no to regulation of the church in any context. Before what happened in China happens, they read out, listen what to say, they read out law enforcement notices declaring that this church's venue was illegal, and that the church was publishing illegal documentation. And guess what they did? They took all the Bible. What is wrong with the Bible? If this is not an attack on a belief, why did they take the Bible? Did they find people being raped here? Did they find people here being violated? While we're running around trying to clamp down on the church, just this festive season, 21 young boys have died in initiation schools around South Africa. Why are we silent on that? How many people have died in church services this year? We say no. I could read this. We say no. Anybody who wants what I've been reading, please contact me on my Facebook page. Please contact me on Messenger. Please contact me on 079-695-8908. I'll send you both articles about the crackdown on churches there. And I can send you even more articles about what is happening in India, what is happening in Russia and China. Why am I concerned with what is happening within India, Russia, and China? Because we are part of the economic community. Let's resist this thing. Leave us as we are. If anybody is violating the law, persecute them, prosecute them. If anybody is violating any law, prosecute them. If any taxi driver rapes, prosecute him. If any preacher rapes, prosecute. If any father rapes, prosecute them. If anybody is embezzling funds, prosecute them. Let us be. Leave us to practice our religion. I'm saying to you, South Africa, as a sign off, we should refuse to cooperate with this February meeting that is taking place now, that Reverend McCool and company are trying to say. Leave us as we are. There's nothing wrong with us. Continue hunting down criminals, put them behind bars, and live our religion. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say to you. Enjoy your day.